war was over. The war was over. He kept telling himself that the war was over. Someday he might believe it. The big man sighed, shook his head, and began arranging chairs. There were different ways he'd found in the years since he'd left the front to cope with the things he'd seen and the sensations that he'd felt. Words could help. Finding people, finding lost souls, hearing their stories and then losing them again. That helped. For a time. Different sensations. He dragged a chair along the floor, listening to the screech of hard wood against stones. Screaming. He grabbed 2 more chairs, dropped them into place from higher than he needed to. Imagined breaking one into splinters. Imagined fire and blood and metal hitting metal, metal scraping against flesh, a chorus of screams and frantic orders and darkness. Something snapped, dragging him back to the world. The back of one of the chairs was in his hands, the rest of it had fallen on the floor. He was panting, a cold sweat running down the sides of his face, rolling down the unnatural contours of his many, many scars. There were ways to tell himself that the war was over, and some of them worked some of the time. But still, every morning he put on his armor, stared into the battered symbol of the Dawnflower that couldn't move him the way it used to, and gripped the hilt of his sword too hard and for too long. The war was over. The war was over. There were ways to replace the memories. He placed the last of the chairs in the circle and set the broken chair back aside and unlocked the door. There would be others soon. They would share stories and they would remember and use that remembering together to forget, and the war would be alive and over at the same time. And then there were things that he could try. Until then, he sat himself down in the broken chair, and he waited. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that has good news for you. It's the cat, another cat, and another cat. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hey.
Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Sam has cats.
At least one of them still has Kevin James' face. And hello to that cat first, and everyone else second.
Catvin James.
Primary hellos.
Previously on the program, our party, we started in that under the waterfall cave where they had killed the Ythalgad. They went through the Ythalgad stuff, or rather the stuff that had been in the cave before the Eldritch Abomination got there, and they found, some decent stuff. Mostly the thing of value was a cat, which took Kira's face.
Yeah.
And became instantly bonded to Kira, and is also weirdly violent and impossible to kill.
Yay.
After that, they returned to the Scar of the Spider, let Pater know that the end of the Dominion of the Black had been achieved, and Tarazi set to work helping Pater with his gardening while the rest of the party went to Torch. They did some shopping, and then Kira invited everybody over to dinner, so they popped on back to the Scar of the Spider, grabbed Tarazi, and then returned and had a pleasant dinner with the mysteriously ill Smith family, with lots and lots of different courses of creatively prepared beats, all of which were described in great detail. And where we're picking up now is still at the residence of the Smith family, but, sort of at the end of dinner here, or after dinner. And Yeah, that's where we are. So, as dinner has finished up, what's the plan, everybody?
Kira's playing with her cat, Potato.
Who's a good little potato? It's you. It's still a little unsettling with the face.
And the cat's just like, it is me.
We are one.
When it makes noise, is it like Kira's voice meowing, or does it sound like a cat? Like, how far does it go? Is it the vocal cords? Is it like the whole head?
I think Kira literally says meow. Kira's voice literally says meow.
It's just up an octave
that's
because it's
awful.
smaller.
Yeah, because it's smaller. Meow. Meow. Just like that.
Well, you had mentioned you might want to talk with your mom. Tarazi and I could take snifters of sipping borscht out to the porch. Give you some space.
Borscht liqueur.
I can play with the cat.
Okay, be nice. Cat says meow.
Well, and we'll pick up Potato and go sit in the corner with it.
Is my mom up to speaking, or is she too sick?
I think she can give it a shot.
Okay. So I have new friends, Mom. That's cool.
They seem nice.
They are pretty nice. They help fight with me, and they do cool things, and one of them's a snake. So that's fun, but not a metaphorical snake, a literal snake.
Yeah, I had I don't think I've ever seen a snake person before. That's a new one.
Yeah, me neither, because, I just hang out here mostly. We had another friend, too. I mean, another friend. And I hurt him, Mom. I hurt him a lot. Bad. Dead. I don't know what happened. I didn't mean to. I was confused. This thing, this monster got inside my head and made me do awful things. And when I came back to myself, we didn't bring him back. And he was Tarazi's best friend. Like Parda. Mom, I don't know what to do. I feel like I can't stay here. I'm not safe for my friends to be around. I don't know. Maybe I should leave off on my own like Vargas did. Which apparently just stopped by. That's wild. But that's for another time.
And I think she has bowed her head a bit, like when you were speaking, like appreciating the gravity of Kira's words, though she does crack a little bit of a smile at Kira's indignation at Vargas's reappearance and disappearance, just because, the juxtaposition is a little bit funny. But then she'll put one hand on Kira's shoulder and just say, well, you said it yourself, you didn't mean to. I think that we don't always have as much control as we want to, but I don't think that should stop you from trying to do the best that you can. Obviously, the hurting one of your friends or someone that you care about is one of the worst feelings that you can get, I would think, but you have to remember that if you weren't in control, just because it was your body doesn't mean that it was you.
What does that mean?
You didn't decide to hurt your friend, did you?
No, but I did. Kind of, I think. It was my chainsaw.
Oh, it might have been your chainsaw. It might have been your arms. And she picks up her other hand and like just puts one index finger right on your forehead. But this is the part that counts, and it wasn't this part. So you didn't kill your friend, Kira.
I think Kira starts to say something and then just sort of collapses forward against her mom in like a hug cry instead. Just a froom. For the audience at home, there's a... Well, you won't get to know unless you join our Patreon.
Yeah, there's a visual aid that makes it make sense.
It's very helpful. Frankly, I'm great with words and hand movements.
And Sage does... Or not Sage, wow. Wrong Smith.
And Sage appears in the corner being like, God, Kira, grow up.
Yeah, she just like walks by, rolls her eyes and sighs. But Willow, I think, has to kind of step back a little bit just to brace herself to hold her daughter up. But she doesn't fall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She's strong enough. It's just, taken unawares.
Yeah, she used to be an adventurer. She's probably got like 30 hit points or something. Almost as many as Brixby.
Ooh, shots fired.
Shots fired. Catching straight.
But please don't do that. I don't have any hit points, so...
So I think Kira composes herself after a couple minutes and sits up, and she's like wiping her face. She goes, thanks, Mom. I guess that makes sense. And it's good to hear from you, at least. I don't know about the others yet. They say they forgive me, but, well, they say it wasn't my fault, too. So maybe there's something to that. But still, I get so angry, Mom. It's like I don't even recognize myself anymore. I go into these, like, battle fugues almost, and I come out just different. I never used to hurt people, and then we started this whole thing, and now all I want to do is protect everyone I love. And I don't know if I can.
Well, the important part, I think, at least, is that you're not doing it because you want to hurt people or you want to fight, but that you're doing it because you want to protect the people around you, the people that need you.
And to that, Kira's quiet for a minute and then just sort of nods. Like, yeah, I think you're right. There's clearly something she's like not saying. It's just sort of like, okay, I should go check on my friends, but I think I'm gonna stay. Well, I actually don't know if I'm gonna stay here tonight because I don't remember how many teleports Brixby has. So I will update you on that. And thanks again, Mom. Thanks for letting me and my friends come over, and thanks for all the beet dishes that were accurately described by myself just previously.
Anytime.
And then I'm imagining Potato jumps in her lap and says, meow.
That's really gonna take just a minute to get used to it.
Like Kira picks the cat up and like cuddles. Like, isn't she cute?
She's adorable. Just, she's really something.
I know. And they like rub noses with each other. The same nose. That's me.
It's deeply disturbing.
It is. It's very upsetting. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this cat to be worked intricately into all of the plot points.
Yeah, wait till we force Irene to draw it.
Yes. Getting a sticker.
Just call Irene up. You remember Kira, right? Well, what if she was
Well, have we
cat?
got a job for you?
Not a cat folk, just a literal house cat, but with Kira's face.
It's also mummified.
Yeah.
And violent.
It will eat its own body if it dies. But it won't stay dead.
No matter what.
As much as you might want it to, it will not.
Yeah, Kira will finish the conversation with their mom and I guess head back out to where everyone else is.
Probably while that's happening, Tarazi and Brixby are enjoying the kind of like brisk air with the snifters. And he breaks the silence and says, if you don't want to talk about this is okay, but I won't pretend to know what Levi meant to you. Not entirely, but I do know what it's like to lose somebody and have that absence be louder than any scream. I know he wasn't just a companion. He was your shadow, your shield, like loyal in a way that most of us aren't lucky enough to experience. I watched the way that you fought together, the way that you didn't have to communicate, the way that you breathed in rhythm. And it wasn't fair how it happened either. Obviously, there's not a bone in me that thinks it was. What happened to him and what happened to Kira, it's cruel how magic can twist us against each other. But if I can say, if Levi was able to express his opinion, I mean, for one, he probably would reject this borscht that we call food. And also, I still think he would have been there between you and the blade. And he wouldn't have let you bear the burden of that alone. It was the type of soul that you could tell that he had. And I don't know much about how you move forward, or you attract another one and make that relationship again. I know there's a tradition. It's of letting go and making room, but I can tell you that doesn't come easy. I think I'm a testament to that, but whatever answers your call, snake, bird, beast, or beyond, it won't replace Levi, and nothing could, but they'll be drawn to the strength in you and the honor and the love that you give.
Thank you, friend Brixby. That is quite kind of you. He was special, and he'll be missed dearly. But I agree it wasn't fair what happened, and I hope Kira can come to forgive herself. I have no idea what she's talking about in the other room, of course, but I know she's been dealing with guilt over this, despite me telling her I don't blame her. I don't know what Nalinavati will deem appropriate for me in the future. I don't know if there's Levi 2, Electric Boogaloo, just waiting around the corner, or whether it'll be something completely different. But should she be so kind as to bring me a new companion, I will be grateful and accept whatever that may be. It'll be interesting, moving forward, learning to fight with someone new.
We've done it. You can do it again. I know you can. And the electric boogaloo part, is that like an electric eel sort of thing? Because I do think that could be a potential upgrade in the general companion world, if possible. I'm not quite sure what your deity's powers are, but...
Oh, it was just a rhyme that came to me.
Well, whenever they do come to you, they will come into our arms and our hearts and our team as well. And anything that we can do to make the process more comfortable for you or them, let us know.
I will. Thank you, truly.
Of course. Let's head inside. My borscht is warming up in my hand, and I'm starting to get the oaky afternotes, the tannins, a little too much.
You know how you can't actively vomit? Have you ever seen a snake try to sip anything? I've been trying to play along, but it's quite difficult.
Just imagining the snake tongue going in, but it's so small.
Just a little bit.
Snake lips just doesn't really work out.
How does your talk with Potato go?
Horribly mauled.
Oh no, he's just sitting there petting the cat, just smiling and petting the horrible, awful face cat.
Hey, that face is part of our team.
Potato has a wonderful face. Potato has a wonderful face. An outstanding
Well, the horrible
face.
isn't horrible face, it's horrible and then face dash cat.
Horrible
Oh my god.
face cat.
The horribleness.
Face is the adjective to cat. Horrible is not the adjective to face. But I think he's just sitting there petting it. And I think because it is like this weird, like not natural creature, it's not scared of him the way animals normally are. So he likes that it's just like sitting still and letting him pet it. And then Kira comes and picks up the cat and goes out the door to where the other two are, and I guess he just hangs out with her parent.
Lightning face just standing in the corner staring at Allowen, like doing the suspicious like, don't think I don't know just because I'm a chicken. Well, I think a little while after all this, there is a knock on the door.
Who is it?
It is Connor Bain. I heard you were in town.
Connor. Come in.
Banemeister.
The Bane Man.
Connorino, I wanted to try.
Big Bane. Oh, I could do this for another half hour.
Oh, his spin-off, The Big Bane Theory, is a really hit podcast.
Dang it. I'm going to have to add a new one to episode titles.
When you open the door to let Connor in, you're immediately struck by the fact that it doesn't look like Connor Bain. He has, like, his voice was the same, but his hair is like the wrong color. He looks like he's maybe 15 years older, and instead of being on those robot legs, he's in like a steampunk kind of wheelchair. So it doesn't look right. But when you open the door, he says, apologies for my appearance. We had a visitor in town, and I've had to adjust things a bit.
Was that like a disguise for him then?
Yeah, he
Clearly, this other person in this clearly tech-related thing. You'd think his disguise would involve not having tech at all, wouldn't you?
Just an image of just a bunch of dogs, like a small Tasmanian devil tornado that's constantly moving around his lower body.
yeah.
As is the way that we obfuscate all of our technology.
Yeah, if you let Connor in the house, he kind of refrains from speaking much until after the door's closed and things are a little bit safer. But then he's like, it's good to see you for the most part in one piece. Tarazi, it's good to see you still with this crew.
Yes, it's good to see you too, friend Connor.
Have you finished up your business in the Feldales?
You know, I thought we had, but then I got confused listening to an intro in a previous episode. Yes, I believe so.
Do you all know where you'll be going to next? Or have you reached the end of the line?
Are you a spy?
I
Legally have to tell us,
You
etc.
have to tell us if you're a spy.
don't think you could call me a spy, really. I've done my share of unscrupulous things in the past, as we've talked about very recently, and not years ago, but I am not a spy.
That is just a 14 sense motive. But I think he's not a spy, right?
Well, you may remember that Connor Bain is not his real name. His real name is Pauldrus Gray,
Right.
who used to work for the Technic League, but he doesn't seem like a spy.
Does a dirty 20 on sense motive get anything different, or do we still think he's just fully on the up and
He
up?
seems to be on the up and up.
We're sort of at an inflection point. We're weighing the information we've received and more importantly, taking a bit of time to strengthen ourselves to an appropriate level to the challenges we've been facing as of late. Unfortunately, the rest of Numeria isn't as easy as the torch and its blinding frogs and undead Kasatha. So actually, you know what? It's been really consistent. It's been a slog. But we all sort of have a burning question, and that question is Vargas. We've heard he was here, and even more importantly, we heard he left with Garton. What do you know about that?
I don't think that Vargas is a spy, but I also wish I knew why he left with Garton and what his plan was. He had two Kellers with him who I didn't know, but they all left together and Garton hasn't been back. I assume that they went to Starfall, but I didn't cross paths with him. He didn't tell me what his plans were, unfortunately. I worry about him. He has no love, I think, for the Technic League, let alone the Black Sovereign. So that is a particularly dangerous place for him.
He did love to get into the heart of it, though. With mixed results. Do you have any more information about Garton or the Technic League before they left, or maybe anything about why you think they would be going to Starfall, aside from the fact that that is obviously the HQ of the Texas League?
We'd all been on tenterhooks, I suppose, for waiting for Garton to leave town, since he arrived shortly after your run-in with that gargoyle. But I think Garton didn't make a secret of the fact that he didn't want to be here either. He had some work left behind in the capital that he thought was more valuable than all of us and whatever happened to Mr. Tret and the gargoyle. But I assume, based on what little I've heard, that there was no struggle when Vargas went to him. I don't think that they fought. Others in Town Hall would have heard something. I think they left peaceably, which it boggles the mind. I don't know what would possess him to go to a man like Garton.
Wild speculation aside, it would be a pretty funny buddy cop dynamic when you think about it, the two of them.
Yeah, and they have the whole, same aesthetic going, at least, with the scars. If they did a good cop, bad cop thing, I would think it would be mostly just bad cop, bad cop.
Bad cop, worse cop. It's definitely their dynamic together.
Did they sing any songs? And then do this thing of leaning back against each other? Patreon tier.
They posed for a photo shoot before they left.
Aww.
Just a little one.
3 pictures max.
While they're talking, Caden, Kira's dad, comes in and he says, I couldn't help it over here. Vargas is, he came to me, he bought a few items at my shop, and his scars looked less pronounced than they did before when he was traveling with all of you. Like they've been healing, or something had been
fix them or something.
Like, Vargas doesn't even wear sunscreen. When I told him that I had some, he referred to his skin as his crust and said he was just fine.
Not his crust.
I was trying to come up with the worst word for skin possible.
My human
Congratulations, you
crust.
did.
Yeah,
got
success.
there.
You nailed that. You call it a week. Go home now. Don't go to work tomorrow.
Is there any reason for us to spend the night in Torch? Not to be rude, Connor. I know that you are dying to give up that wonderfully comfortable bed at the Foundry, but I do have another teleport prepared, so I wanted to offer it.
There are a lot of beds in town that aren't in my home. Just
But
throwing
yours
that
is
out
the best one.
I know, and
It's
none
the
of them hold a
nicest
candle.
bed.
There are several beds in his home that aren't his bed that he specifically rents out to other people.
Y'all want to sleep here, or do you want to go back home?
Yeah.
Unless, like, Connor's like, I have a secret thing to tell you right now that is a plot hook
Can
and a
only
MacGuffin.
be whispered under the light of the moon.
Is there anything else that you do need to tell us about this Gartone or anything else going on in town? Or will you just... That was all you had to say, but you didn't want to say it in the street?
Well, Gartone hasn't left Torch unoccupied. He brought in one of his agents. I think the man out of Chesed. Oh, an awful man, but at least he's not Gartone himself. Something coffin, something like that. But I had been wondering, actually, if you all were planning to go to Starfall, as Vargas did, obviously not with Gartone himself, but in general.
As they say in Cheliax, I believe all roads lead. Unfortunately, in this case, to Starfall for us. But we do have some logistics to handle in the interim.
I'm getting new shoes.
That sounds fun.
Thank you. That's what I said.
Oh, you'll...
I'm getting new tendons.
That sounds less fun.
No, it's gonna be really cool.
This is a cube that makes you smart.
And tastes like the air. But not good
And
air.
it-
It's not a neutral air.
yeah, ambient flavor. Either positive or negative. As a reward or as a punishment. Did tick up the old Bonsonator.
Ambient punishment flavors.
Punishment flavors, indeed, yeah. There were a lot of punishment flavors in the Scar of the Spider.
A lot of
Thankfully, I
punishment
didn't fail many of them. As a
I think Alwyn would want to go back to Pater if we had a choice for the night, just because he doesn't like big cities, and Torch, with its like 30 people in it, is a big city to him.
There are at least 45. So.
There are
fair.
dozens of them.
Dozens.
I think Connor will just say, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You obviously have things to do and places to get back to. I just wanted to let you know that if you're going to Starfall, I have written ahead to a contact of mine there, a man who goes by Mockery. He can help you when you're there. He's the man who helped me and Val get out of here get out of there when I had to escape in a hurry. He's a good man.
Can you say his name again?
He goes by Mockery. His real name is Dralmok.
Oh.
It's kind of a, cool guy, kind of sneaky criminal tag type of deal.
Mockery.
I dig a mononym. It's cool. Is there anything that we can do for you or Torch relating to coughing or anyone else?
I mean, if you wanted to chase Coffin out of town, I wouldn't object, but the league will just send another one as long as they're still holding Numeria. If you want to do something for us, I mean, honestly, you could topple the league themselves, take Numeria back for the Numerians. And he's obviously got a laugh in his voice when he says that, but he's like,
Yeah, I mean, that's basically kind of what we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
We've been workshopping a mission statement for like 4 weeks, and it is pretty close to that.
Maybe we can do both.
Yeah, every person that I've met who's from this Technic League has not been a very nice person.
Mm-hmm. I bet if I go and chop off just a little bit of that guy's desk, he'll leave.
he might.
I think there's not much to stop Kira from walking there right now. She'll be like, all right, I'll be back. This will take like 20 seconds. I've got a plus 23 intimidate. It's fine. But I do think Kira wants to make that guy leave before they leave.
I think Connor will just call after you and say, well, I do appreciate it if you're going to chase Mr. Coffin out of Torch. But if you're going to Starfall, just remember not to have your technological items visible. They won't search you for them magically, but having openly visible technology is generally a mistake. You can buy and sell technological items at night markets, which the League does keep an eye on, but it's sort of a, finger on the nose type deal. He's trying to think of things that he can say that will help you. He's like visibly racking his brain, and he's like, it's a terrible place with a romantic name. It's the sort of place that would chew up romance and spit it out in the dirt.
Oh gosh. That liquor store on the 4th Avenue, terrible prices. You gotta go up to 5th.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Finally, he just kind of gives up, and he's just like, just be careful if you go there. Don't try to take them all on head first. There are a lot of them. But I think, honestly, that the 4 of you, you could free this place of them. And perhaps Vargas is there. Perhaps he's already working on the cause.
Well, thank you for that information and writing ahead on our behalf. If you can think of anything else that is useful, feel free to either let us know now or by some sort of missive, although not quite sure the logistics of the latter. Yeah, so, I mean, would it involve like a hammer coming down on y'all if we really went after this coffin guy? Do you feel like there's a level of retaliation that we should be afraid of, or do you think that Torch is small enough to potentially just, cow this person into submission and not be noticed?
I think Kira, halfway to the door, hears this question and stops and turns around with like a horrified look on her face. Like, you mean you think if I intimidate this guy a little bit, they'll send someone after Torch to hurt them?
They'll go after who we love.
My family? Jeff is saying yes, which usually means yes.
Yes, the diagenic Jeff.
But if Kira or one of the rest of us scares him and tells him to just stay here but not do his job, they wouldn't replace him in that case, right?
Yeah, I just really want to hurt this guy. He seems bad. And I'm, veering towards sort of a chaotic evil lately. So if I could smash this dude, that'd be great.
I honestly don't know how they would react to either scenario, but They're obviously showing interest in Torch, but at the same time, I don't think Gartone wants to come back if he has an excuse to stay away.
I think Kira will look at Brixby and say, what if we kill him? Then he can't report back.
It's hard. I'm not going to say that we may have tried that before, but, you know, I think that this is actually, Gartone appeared to be the response to the lack of response. So I do think that there are merits to either trying to appeal to this person through intimidation, though I don't know how long-lasting that can be. There is also, as much as it pains me, they're usually petty creatures of greed. We might be able to find a way to encourage him to, be kinder. But, I mean, are they doing anything? Do we get the impression that there's, like, any sort of not business normal oppression going on here? Or is it just kind of like the standard techno-police state?
It seems to be like the standard techno-police state, except that it's more out in the open than it was when Sandville and Nixariel were kind of covert agents in town. So it's a little bit of a visual display of power. And then there's also sort of been the investigation going on into the disappearances of Sandville and Sazaduk.
Is this coffin still trying to look for the gargoyle? Or was that only part of Gartone's job, and now that he's here, he's just helping keep an eye on everybody else?
I believe he's meant to be continuing the investigation. I don't know how fervently he's pursuing it.
It just sounds like, for the most part, that, like, this guy sounds like he's kind of lazy compared to, like, maybe Zazaduk or one of them, so maybe just let him hang out until we hear that he's doing anything real bad, because otherwise we poke the hornet's nest and they send another captain down.
Well, and if we're inevitably headed to that actual nest, to borrow your stinging analogy, then it would probably suit us to be as covert as possible leading up to it. I don't know how many bold-faced, like, acts of resistance the Technic League is experiencing on a daily basis. And while the revolution dies in silence, it has to start there. So
I think Kira looks at first Alwyn, then Brixby, then at her mom, and is like, Mom, do you think we should leave this guy alone?
And she thinks about it for a second, and then she says, honestly, even if he works for the League, he's not actively hurting people here other than monetarily collecting the absurd taxes. But I think we're in a stable state right now. Connor doesn't have to hide as urgently without his old friend here, and I don't think the town really has anything to hide most of the time, so I think we can make it for a while with him here.
What if we just bully him a little bit?
just cast guards and wards on his house before
Yeah.
leaving. The one room just becomes incredibly
Just box him
confusing.
in.
Can Mind Maze be affected by permanency?
I don't think so.
In a forever
I think
mind maze.
That just becomes maze at that point, right? Isn't that like what the spell maze is, I think?
Well, the spell Maze like physically teleports them to another dimension.
Ah, yes. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think your guidance is right. If we're going to make a difference, we have to strike at a place where it matters. Just not to say that Torch doesn't, but they see this place as far less value than it actually holds. Should we head back? Do we want to?
Yeah, I think
So-
Kira's appropriately mollified by her mom's words. She's like, fine, we won't bully him just a little bit. But if anything happens, you tell me right away and we'll come back and I'll kill him. I'll kill him dead.
We'll keep that in mind.
We're staying with Pater, so you can just send a message to him.
You fill up a water skin with boss, big stuff. I know you wanted me to remind you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It'll be really hard to clean out. It's going to be a lost, water skin, but it's worth it.
It's a borscht skin now. Yeah.
Borscht skin. This is where I keep my borscht.
Belongs to the
It's
borscht.
like a giant goo tube, if you think about it.
Ruined.
Oh, see, I was imagining borscht and it getting like stuck in the tube, and you have to suck really hard to get the borscht behind it. I mean, unless you order the smooth, but we are a chunky podcast of the two,
Yeah.
historically. So I think after having that conversation in front of Connor Payne, we just wink out of existence.
All right. Get that roll.
Oh yeah. Ooh, 96. Oh no, let's
Oh,
look at that. What does that mean?
is that a fail?
I think it's like a bad fail.
It's an off target for studied carefully.
Oh yeah, it is an off target. Can I make a case that we may be very familiar with this at this point? I have to see what very familiar looks like, though. I mean, I've eaten the fruit of that soil.
Are there definitions? Very familiar is a place you've been very often where you feel at home. I suppose, given that Pater
Aw.
has, I think, literally told you to make yourself at home, and you've spent a couple weeks there at this point, I think we can call it very familiar.
Excellent.
We don't have to do the walk of shame.
I mean, we could have. I guess I could use my arcane bonded object for the teleport, but thank you for not embarrassing my cool smart rat.
All right, well, you reappear in the Scar of the Spider. I think it is pretty late at this point because you already had dinner and then you hung out afterwards for a while. It's at the end of the day.
I think so.
Somebody's gonna get re-legulated tomorrow, so you need to get a lot of rest.
Yeah, man, he's got to do 8 hours of staring at a pair of leather until it turns into boots.
Just make sure that your legs are asleep for 8 hours. You really want to restrict that blood flow.
That sounds really uncomfortable. Yeah.
Star wipe to the next day.
Who's gonna begin their journey on the cube? I guess I could solve it for these people.
I think Kira had an odd. Yeah, so you'd benefit the most from it.
Let's see.
I'm up from a
So-
-7.
All right. Yeah.
Nope. Jeff
well,
says no. That's not right.
Yeah. No.
A
Just a regular
-2.
7.
Sorry.
-7 would
That'd
be
be intense.
You're
That'd be a
unconscious.
literal negative.
Just a regular
intelligence.
7.
You just literally cannot stop falling for multi-level marketing schemes every book. It's just a
not
different
again.
one. Be your own boss, guys. Come on.
Well, you don't understand. They sell me the knives, and then I sell them to you.
She's a level 7 susceptible.
Alwyn, would you mind touching me with the guidance before I endeavor?
Okay. And he reaches over and touches you and casts guidance.
Right, I need a 10. I rolled a 20 for a 28. Thank you. So it probably, because we spent so much time in Torch, the goo tastes like home.
Aw.
Yeah, who's going to say that? It's going to taste like Torch because we were in Torch all day yesterday.
Home goo. Aw. Yeah, Kira has a great time with the goo this first day, and anticipates the following days will only get better.
Gotta restart my goo tracking document here.
Mm-hmm. And Alwyn will ask Brixby if he can go with him to the robot dock. Can you come with me to Binox? I think they like you more than they like me.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm happy to go. It's always like a real dice roll. with that guy, person thing. Yeah, let's go. Can't remember. No, yeah, we're gonna teleport. We're not taking the Halic. So we can zappy whenever you and I have our breakout group. Are you guys getting anything replaced in your bodies today?
We have some eyeballs.
No, thank you.
Politely decline.
Nobody wants a robot with a broken brain to cut them open and
Perform LASIK.
I don't know why you wouldn't want that.
Yeah, so we will head off, skipping hand in hand back to Binox's cave.
Yes. Let me just roll another D100 because that is not a safe place for Brixby. All right, that's a 7.
Oh, I wonder what a similar location to Binox's cave would be. That
There's
would
only
be
one
terrifying.
Binox.
I think it's the Silver Mount.
Yeah. Just like teleports us to like Unity or something. It's like, oh, so we need a big cave full of horrible robot stuff. Okay.
The only other one in the world. Sadly, you are underleveled.
Yeah.
All right, so you appear in the machine cave. It looks much as it always has, a weird combination of highly ordered and unhinged chaos. And Binax is hard at work, kind of just using a blowtorch to attach one chunk of metal to another misshapen chunk of metal, while also with other hands, like doing delicate circuitry work.
Hello, Binox.
It's your friends.
Binox spins around. All of his hands go up in the air at the same time, so the misshapen chunks of metal fly across the room and bang into the wall. And he goes, "Intruders!"
We put our hands up in response and go, Friends! Friends, remember we went over this last time, the hand waving. We took a photo beside this piece of wood where the faces were cut out, where I looked like a pumpkin and you look like a squash.
The 3 red dots that stand in for eyes on Binox's face all kind of narrow a little bit. Gives you the very suspicious look. Computing. Oh yes, it is my dear friends, Pepperdine and Atlas Salad. It is good to see you. It's been 100 years.
Ellen looks at Brixby. It's been 100 years?
And I mean, we're here not a day too soon, because we needed that whole 100 years to come up with this small swaying dance of appreciation that we've created for you. Brixby and Alwyn just kind of looped a loop around a little bit. Just making sure.
Oh, Alwyn's actually upset because he thinks he's missed several anniversaries. He has roughly the same grasp of the passage of time as Binox does.
I did not think that you squishy flesh creatures could live for 100 years. I thought that your lifespans were 45 minutes? Maybe a little longer.
It's exactly
Hour and a half.
as long as Binox's memory cycle is. That is no object permanence. Just we're gone, we're dead.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're busy being a Renaissance bot and all, but I was wondering if you had some spare clamps, surgical clamps, to do some legulating to my friend. Shakes the tendons and just kind of holds them up like you hold up pants at a thrift store that you don't want to try on, but you want to make sure they fit.
Alwyn will also pull out from his haversack 800 GP worth of just like random metal scrap, because I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't take money, and say, we also have this for payment because you like payment for helping us with stuff. Remember?
Definitely not the copper piping under the torch Rotary Club.
a little panel on his chest like slides open, and two little claws like on wires shoot out, and one grabs the tendons and one grabs like the entire cluster of broken machine parts. They snap back and like retract like a tape measure coming back too fast and kind of whack him in the face. But then he holds them up in front of him and he stares at the two of them. And he goes, yes, legulation, delegulation, and relegulation. Binox is an expert on all things related to squishy, living, bionical being legulators. I can do this for you. No problemo.
Is there a roll involved in this? Because I'm worried I'm going to end up with that $800 worth of scrap in my legs instead of the...
There is a heal check associated with the surgery.
Yeah, I thought I remember you saying there was a heal check, but I wasn't sure what his bonus is.
-1.
I mean, obviously you can tell that he has seen every episode of a house. And
oh, good. So he makes Brixby bite him because the answer is always rat bites.
There's a non-trivial chance that Alan's going to wake up with lupus. This procedure will take me approximately 2 hours, so you may die of old age before it is over.
Can you install Ubuntu while we're doing this so we can say that he runs on Linux?
Well, I'm certainly not going to install Windows 11.
That's fair. There's no TPM in there. Yep.
What do you take me for? A maniac? All right, well, if there are no objections, Binox will begin operating on Alowin's legs.
With no anesthesia.
Nope.
Sadly, anesthesia is not... Oh, it's not one of his functions.
I do have the expired space drugs that I will administer throughout this.
So, Brixby, I think you get to see some real horrors.
Yeah, for a reminder to anybody who might be eating while they're listening, Alowin has like weirdly tough skin and his blood looks like soy sauce.
It's all the same to Binox. It seems pretty normal.
I mean, considering where he lives, it probably does seem normal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, this is what the inside of everything looks like.
He has been in one of the worst places in the world for an indeterminate number of hundreds of years. Yeah, it seems pretty normal.
Binox is like that one switch on the bottom of the rack that is more hair than anything else at this point, just like running out in the scar. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, almost everything he's seen for most of his days has been spiders. So
yeah. I was going to say, it probably looks perfectly normal compared to like Amigo or something.
Over the course of 2 hours, during which he regales Brixby with complicated, meandering stories that don't make any sense, and calls Brixby at least 45 different names. He expertly installs the wire jack tendons in Alwyn's legs. It's like a work of art. Like, he's a true artiste. He, closes up, doesn't even leave much in the way of scarring. You do take 2 con damage from the implantation. That's kind of a thing that comes with getting cybernetics installed.
Awesome.
That and tetanus.
A little bit of tetanus.
A small sprinkling.
Just a little bit.
Do you get to keep your original tendons as a keepsake?
Yeah, he gives them to you in a manila folder.
They're tied up in a little bow.
It's his baby tendons. Aw.
That's actually the joke I was making, because I have somewhere, either in my house or in somebody else's house, a manila folder with like teeth in it.
I asked for my wisdom teeth back after getting them out when I was totally conked on it.
Yeah, it was my adult canines that I had to have pulled because my mouth was too small.
I threw them to the floor after because I was like, these are broken. And I was Apparently not very nice on full anesthetic either, but I was very unhappy that the teeth were not full teeth when I was done.
Got a 2 on my D4 to heal my, when I...
Or your con damage.
It's like it never happened.
Actually, I probably don't need to mark that because we're not going to be doing stuff today, but I'll mark it anyway.
Now, it's rude to heal your con damage in front of your surgeon. We don't need anything else from Binox, though, right? Like, we don't need to fix anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think everything else is good.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to teleport after major surgery, so goodbye, Nox. And
Remember not to operate any heavy machinery.
Alwyn just can't stay away from those backhoes.
I assume you will all be dead before I see you again.
Wow, keep rolling in the single digis on these 100s, and we are back to Paters with a 3.
All right. It's like it never happened. Kira and Tarazi, what's been going on for the morning? Well, Alwyn's getting horrific surgery that no one even wants to think about, really.
I don't know how long I've been muted, but I have said so many funny things.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I haven't said any funny things. Don't worry, it's fine. Thank you for your concern, though. Kira's
Adam
been
in
playing with the
post.
cat. Adam in post. I'll have an extra 2 weeks to think about how funny to be. Do you guys ever do that when you're editing? Like, hear someone on the tape say something and then respond to it out loud and then say the same thing on your track? I do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am the same person I was 3 weeks ago. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I've definitely had several instances of going like, that would have been a funny joke to make. Then I make the joke. I'm like, it wasn't that funny.
That is
I was wrong.
exactly my experience. With
I'm
mine.
disappointed in myself, both past and present.
Dang it. It's rough being a podcaster. Anyway, Kira's been playing with the cat. I think she's teaching it tricks because it can learn tricks. It's like a regular familiar. Not official tricks, not mechanical tricks. Sorry, lowercase tricks. But let me look up
Just
what
teaching it about cereal.
Cat familiar. Pathfinder. Meanwhile, Jeff can say some words. Because I don't, it's just playing with the cat.
Yeah, I think from all the miles away, because he's not anesthetized, Tarazi just faintly hears the screams of Alwyn and says, I guess Binox was able to do the procedure. And then he goes back to, digging and fertilizing and, general yard workery.
I gain a +3 on stealth.
The cat does.
I do. Me.
Oh.
Have familiar benefit.
Woohoo. Now I'm up to a -1.
I assume the rest of the day, Alwyn's got crafting to do.
Yep. And that would, with the 4 hours that he did on the day we finished killing the brain, that will finish up Kira's boots. And like I mentioned earlier, because he gets the feat through one of his class things that he could pick during his early level up that's called spontaneous creation. So like, I imagine because of the way that that's worded, that he literally does just like get the materials and then just like concentrate on them and the stuff builds itself. So it does just basically spend all day like kind of meditating over this leather and creates the boots.
Psychically generated boots.
Yeah, he will give those to Kira after the 8 hours of work and say, here you go. These are your new boots. Just like you asked for.
Thanks. You don't have like a box or anything, do you?
No.
Okay. And then she takes the boots and puts them in the bag of holding and then goes to get Cassandra Lee's iPad and starts filming her unboxing. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I got some new boots today and we're going to try them on. And then, the rest of the YouTube stuff.
Getting immediately furious when you put them on. So angry.
I hate YouTube.
Don't we all?
I don't hate YouTube. I love YouTube. Thank you, Google.
Smash that bill or I'll smash you.
Cassandra is deeply disturbed by all of this, having no context for anything.
Yeah. She's just like up in the corner like a streamer avatar.
She's going to start doing reaction videos to the videos that you're making while you're making them. It's very meta. But I think we can draw the 12th of Lamachan to a close there. And as the party goes to bed in the Scar of the Spider once more, I'm going to bed.
Good night, Sam.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Kira's YouTube channel.
Night, Potato.
Good night, Potato's YouTube channel. Yeah.
Night, Potato.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Is it Hero Lab?
Character sheet.
Nope, don't have a character sheet.
Foundry. Oh, yep, there it was. Character sheet.
Got it in one.
You find out it's been Armin Tanzarian the whole time.
Bottle cap.
What a few.
Oh, wait, crap. Sky Metal. I'm listening to too many other podcasts.
no.
Sky Metal.
Don't sue us.
Oh, no.
Salt
Legal has told
shaker.
us we're actually being sued right now. It's already
Well,
happened.
to be fair, they have to get in line behind Matt Groening.
Fair.
That's true. I trust Matt Groening over Troy LaValle in that fight.
Let's speculate on Vargas's new skincare routine that is clearly showing its benefits.
It is 30-40% retinol. Minimum.
I thought I was going to say retinol too. That's one of the few words I know.
That's the only one I got. Salicylic acid.
Maybe he's rubbing vitamin C on it.
Oh, hyaluronic acid. And vitamins.
All the vitamins.